we are going to see constructor and destructor. First, what is constructor? Constructor is a special member function whose task is to initialize the object of its class. Again, I repeat that point. A constructor is the special member function whose task is to initialize the object of its class. That is the main task of constructor. And one more point, a constructor name is same as the class name. For example, your class name is sample. The constructor name also same for sample. Then the constructor does not take any return types, even void. Just you can define the name of the constructor only. Next, the constructor should be invoked whenever the object is created. The constructor is invoked whenever the object is created. Okay. So these are the some definitions for constructor. So constructor is a special member function to initialize the object of its class. So constructor name and class name also same. Next, in this example, the class name is integer. The constructor name also integer. From the left hand side, class integer, then two integer variable m and n, then the public section we are creating integer. This is called the constructor declaration. After that, it should be implemented using scope resolution operator. Integer, the class name is integer, the constructor name is integer, then I want to assign two values for m and n, both are 0. When object is created from the class, when the object is created from class integer, it will be initialized automatically. I already told you the constructor sure it is invoked when the object is created automatically. Okay. Example, before the class name is integer, constructor name also integer, the object should be initialized int1. So in the constructor, not only for creating a object, it is also initialized the data members of m and n. Okay, both m and n, the value should be 0. So these are all some characteristics. The constructor should be declared in the public section. They are invoked automatically when the objects are created. Okay, they are called automatically when the object is created. Okay, so they do not have any return type because it called automatically. The class name and the constructor name is same. The constructor have default argument as the other function. So these are all the some types. First type, default constructor. When the default constructor they takes no parameters, they are called internally by the compiler whenever the objects are created. Okay, this is called a normal constructor definition, also called default constructor. Okay, there is no parameters. The compiler should internally to called whenever the objects are created. So there is no need to call it explicitly because it called implicitly by the compiler. So this is the sample program for implementing default arguments. And the class name also same for integer. Then constructor is integer. There is no any parameters, but it have two values m and n. Both are 0. It will be displayed. Before displaying, you can call the object. That is automatically uh, the objects the constructor should be called. Okay, whenever the object is created. So integer into 1. This is the object from the main function. Integer into 1 is the object of its class. So it should be called its constructor for integer. So it will be displayed m equal to 0 and n equal to 0. You will see the output m equal to 0 and n equal to 0. So this is called default constructor. Next, parameterized constructor. These are constructors that take one or more arguments. That is called parameterized constructor. They initialize the object data members by the value which is passed as arguments. Okay, because of it takes the arguments. For example, class name is integer, then it takes two arguments 2 comma 5. Okay, so this is the sample program for implementing parameterized constructor integer int x int y. So these are all the two constructor. Before the constructor how it's work for creating an object. So its class name is integer and the object is int1. The value should be passed on x and y. So there are two values 5 comma x should be passed on the constructor x and y. Then it will be assigned m and n. So m equal to 5 and n equal to 6. Okay, you will see the output m equal to 5 and n equal to 6. So this is parameterized constructor. Then third one, copy constructor. So in this case, the constructor to declare and initialize an object from another object. Okay, so it will take a reference to an object of the same class as itself as an arguments. Okay, so this is called copy constructor. For example, integer, the class name for one object is i1, then integer another object is i2, it reference of i1. So this is known as copy constructor. So here you will see the example. So integer address of x, this is called copy constructor. So m equal to x dot m, then n equal to x dot n. So there are two values for assigning m equal to 100, n equal to 100. So after that you can displaying whenever the object is created, it will be called the constructor automatically, the integer of int2 of int1. So first int1 dot display is m equal to 100, n equal to 100, but the same object should be referenced next same value, that is the object of its class should be copied on next object, that is int2 dot display. So its value is m equal to 100 and n equal to 100. Same should be copied one more time. That is a copy constructor. Overloading constructor, more than one constructor should be implemented on the same class. That is called overloading constructor. Here the copy constructor and default constructor and parameter constructor should be implemented in the sample program. So first it displayed int of 1, that is the default constructor, will take m equal to 400 and n equal to 500. Then integer, the output for m equal to 0 and n equal to 0, that will take default constructor. Then m equal to 400 and n equal to 500, that is the value should be passed on the two parameters. Then m equal to 400 and n equal to 500 for to copy the reference, same value should be the reference object. So that is the copy constructor. So okay, these are all the constructor and types of constructors. Okay, thank you students.